and welcome back to the channel, Foo. Thanks for tapping in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and like videos like this.
So I was outside and I was walking to my car, and then I see the whole sky light up. And what the hell's going on?
You are looking at an injectable fiber that behaves like living tissue, making it perfect for integrating with the human body. The University of Hong Kong has created a soft biocompatible semiconductor made from hydrogel, a water-rich material that behaves like living tissue. This means the next generation of cyborg technology may not look like copper and steel brain chips. It may look more like artificial nerve webs woven into tissue. This next gen of interfaces are soft enough to sit against the brain without the same harsh mismatch of rigid implants. For people suffering paralysis, this means that an artificial nerve system could soon be injected into the brain and body. And these soft human tissue-like hydrogels will not be rejected by the body's immune system. We are on the verge of a future where machines seamlessly merge with our bodies. This biocompatible injectable fiber is the future of neural interfaces and implants into the brain.
I was hired to dig a giant hole in the woods. I eventually asked, like, what are we looking for? And the demeanor changed a bit on the crew when I asked that question. And I was told, we don't know. But if we find anything strange, we're going to hand it off to the guy who's actually running this. But every time we found something, we would pull it out of the hole, and the rule was instantly everyone faces away. When we first found the first few things, that's when it really started kicking in, like, why are we doing it this way? And it was no every time. And it was just, all right, back to work. And then one day, we found what they were looking for. I got hired to go to Mount Shasta and dig a hole, and they would not tell us what we were looking for. If I found anything that seemed out of the ordinary, I was told to pull it out and face the opposite direction. Boulders, we're pulling these boulders out about basketball sized, and when they were split, the inside was dark. There's no quartz crystals in it. Like, the fuck are we doing out here? You know, they won't tell us anything. You think that's just going to end the moment we find what they're looking for? It got to the point where we were nervous of what we found and if they were going to let us step off of that mountain.
It seemed awfully well organised. You were to say it was, a military operation. The efficiency and like the degree of discipline in how they sort of swam and attacked, swam and attacked, swam and attacked. It was phenomenal. It was.
It's a bit spooky.
It's very spooky because I have no doubt they knew exactly what they were doing. I think they know that a rudder steers a boat, and they know that once they break the rudder, that the boat then is at their mercy. We're probably an hour and a half into the attack, and I saw water coming in. And the water was coming in at a reasonable rate, enough that I went, oh shit, now we're in trouble.
Well, you know what time it is? We gotta talk, because yesterday, as I was scrolling through TikTok, what was the one video that I saw probably 30 to 40 times on my For You page? That would be the Mothership that was allegedly filmed in Fort Myers. Have you seen it? You haven't? Let me show you.
From not being there to being there, and I think I just caught it.
Now, the lady who took that video said in the video that she had been watching the beach cams for weeks and weeks, hoping to get a glimpse of the Mothership, and then, luck would have it, she caught that.
Cam, look.
Out of the, I would estimate around 30 to 40 videos and photos that I saw yesterday, they're all of this Mothership in Fort Myers. So I want to know, have you seen this video? What do you think? I know we've been talking about motherships and UFOs and UAPs for a while now, and them making themselves known and present and visible, but have you seen this video? Have you seen a mothership with your own eyes? Do you believe that all of this is actually taking place? Because that's the conversation I want to have with you today. I have my beliefs. I want to know what yours are. And remember, anything we talk about and discuss is for learning, information, and entertainment purposes only, because it's not up to me to tell you what to believe. That's up to you. But let's have this conversation. Motherships, they're making themselves known now.
Is a Mountain Dew mudslide on its way? Dirty, do you say? Is there more to the dew than just a flavored soda? It seems whenever a new flavor is announced, it coincides with an epic disaster. Is there a little magic in the mountain? Released in 2001 Code Red, we know what that means. Remember 2003 live wire and the blackout caused by a tree limb touching a transmission line. How about in 2020 to purple thunder when eerie purple skies kept appearing after thunderstorms? This one always gets me, 2020 for Star Spangled Splash. Francis Scott Key Bridge Francis, who wrote the Star Spangled Banner, took a splash when it was taken out by a barge. Or could it have been referring to a different kind of splash? Think about this one. Although much longer apart, it's still very peculiar. Deep Dive and the Titan Submersible. January 2020 to sparks outrage with the Capitol. So many coincidences, we should start calling it magic do. Do we or don't we do the do?
Tripping right now? Why is there a rifle case in the middle of the seaport? I'm right in front of my building right now, in the middle of the city. There's just a rifle case sitting here. Like, everybody just walks by it. Like, am I tripping? Like, we're literally in the middle of the seaport. Like, yeah. Like, yeah, look at it. That is weird, bro. That is weird. There's a rifle case sitting here. Somebody just left? Like, what? Like, I'm not even making this up. Like, who just, what? Should I take it? The hell?
So I'm walking down and I got like 20 pigs following me. I don't know what to do, so yeah. Like, I stop and they stop. No, I'm not gonna give you food. I don't wanna take my Dollar Tree bag. Okay, now I'm starting to get scared. I don't know. Should I run? Help me.
Boy, you're literally bringing home the bacon.
I don't know if you guys are tracking on this classified CIA technology called the Ghost Murmur that was used in order to find the F-15 Echo Strike Eagle Wizzo in Iran the other day, but this thing is nuts. Apparently it employs long-range quantum magnetometry to detect the weak electromagnetic fingerprint, which is like a biomagnetic field that's produced by a human heartbeat. The data is then paired with AI software to filter out background noise and isolate the specific signature, and apparently the underlying tech relies on advances in sensors using microscopic defects in synthetic diamonds, specifically nitrogen vacancy or NV centers, which is a real and actual rapidly advancing area of quantum sensing research. And then these defects allow highly sensitive magnetic field detection at room temperatures. So in ideal low interference conditions like a remote desert or mountains with minimal electromagnetic clutter, it can supposedly pick up a heartbeat from a very long distance. Now, the president mentioned that the CIA was able to spot the officer from around 40 miles away, so maybe that's something they used. Regardless, the CIA director John Ratcliffe had a press briefing at the White House and he spoke of deploying exquisite technologies that no intelligence service in the world possesses and unique capabilities. I want you to give this a listen.
As an agency, the CIA possesses unique capabilities that only the president can deploy. Some of these capabilities fall under covert action authorities, and because covert means exactly that, I'm not going to be able to tell you everything that you want to know. At the president's direction, we deployed both human assets and exquisite technologies that no other intelligence service in the world possesses to a daunting challenge, comparable to hunting for a single grain of sand in the middle of a desert. This was also a race against the clock, as it was critical that we locate the downed aviator as quickly as possible, while at the same time keeping our enemies misdirected. For that reason, in addition to the human and technical assets deployed by the president to find our airman, CIA executed a deception campaign to confuse the Iranians who were desperately hunting for our airmen. On Saturday morning, we achieved our primary objective by finding and providing confirmation that one of America's best and bravest was alive and concealed in a mountain crevice, still invisible to the enemy, but not to the CIA. That confirmation was relayed by Secretary Hegseth to the President, and the operation quickly moved to the execution phase. Following the successful exfiltration on Saturday night, our intelligence reflects that the Iranians were embarrassed and ultimately humiliated by the success of this audacious rescue mission.
If I was to tell you there's one more thing of what dreams may be. They say that reality influences dreams. Is not the opposite true? That dreams influence reality. I feel like Fra Angelico visited by the angels, because every time I try to speak to this, I am horrified. I am too scared, too overwhelmed with beauty. Also, it's important to remember that you do remember that dreams do have cohesion from night to night. It's simply that when you wake up, you forget.
Three strange things happened to the silver food packaging. Number one, you can see through the silver packaging. Here again, zoomed in and slowed down, and now in normal speed. Number two, the red dot on the silver packaging. It's only visible on this side after that spin. So here again, here after the next full rotation. But after the last rotation, the red dot is simply gone. And 3, 2, 1, gone. The red spot should be visible right there, like in the reference picture taken from the silver packaging. Are those letters visible? And after that silver packaging is descending, the red spot just disappears in one frame, as you can see while I'm going one frame forward and backward. Number 3. It looks like the silver packaging is going through his skin. Here a closed up, you would expect at the minimum a bounce off, but it just goes through. Just focus on the edge of the packaging and you can see the mixed up pixels right there. I'm so excited what they'll cook next.
I keep telling y'all, you're gonna wind up getting your ass locked up for saying something that you're not supposed to be saying in these DMs on these social media apps. AI will tell on you. A teacher got pulled out of her classroom and arrested for a message that she sent on Snapchat. You heard what I just said? This teacher sent a message to her roommate, and AI felt the message was something that the FBI needed to hear, and guess what happened? Just what I said. The FBI came and locked her ass up. This teacher was teaching her class, doing a lesson. One of her students shut off her laptop while she was in the middle of the lesson, ruining her lesson plan. Of course, that probably made her mad. She texted her friend via Snapchat, and she said to her friend, "My student deleted my lesson plan for the day. Should I shoot him or not?" You can see how anybody would take that, right? Mind you, that was in privacy. That was in her messages on Snapchat. But AI read that. AI sent that directly to the FBI, and they came and handcuffed her and locked her up. Now you could say she shouldn't have sent that message, and she shouldn't have sent that message. Of course, she should have known the seriousness of that. But her thinking that that's in the privacy of her chat, she sent it. She probably wouldn't even harm that student. But AI didn't think so, and she got arrested. But I'm betting you don't believe me, right? Look at this shit.
Hi, I'm Deputy Sean with the Sheriff's Office. Do you happen to have your phone on you?
I do, yeah.
Okay, if you want to go and hand that to me, please?
Yes.
Okay, the reason we're here is, have you been on Snapchat earlier today?
Yes, I was, yeah.
Okay, and so we got a call about a snap. So did you happen to make one today?
I did, yeah.
The kids make you mad today?
No.
Nothing about your computer or anything like that?
I had a lesson plan and one of the kids turned off my computer on my lesson plan. I was like, oh, dang, but I never get mad with the kids ever.
What did you snap after that? Did you send out?
No. What? I'm so confused.
So what I want to show you is the snap we received.
Oh, yes. But, okay, yes. This was a joke, though, but yes.
I'm gonna leave you on that note. I'm out.
So here's we walk in. If you go left, you come up to a bathroom. Also, there are 2 showers. Well, 1 shower, 1 bathtub. Another room. Emma. Also across from here, there is another room.
That room's creepy.
That's the murder room. Okay, I'm gonna try and get this all on video. This is our living room. Giant.
The only sane place.
Oh, shoot, there's a room.
Even creepier room.
Yeah. This is also a room. And then you keep going through the gigantic living room. And then there's our kitchen. Then you keep going through this door. There is, I don't know what that is, it's locked. There's a dining room, another dining room. Then you come down this hallway. Then there's Emma's room, and my room, and my bathroom. And then you go down this dark hallway that doesn't have a light switch. We're back to the front.
And why Emma looked like a ghost.
A mysterious in-universe commercial for the Backrooms movie has started playing on TV. And in the commercial is a phone number that reveals something crazy. So on Saturday night, viewers were watching Pluto TV, which is a live TV service. And they randomly got this commercial.
Ahoy there, mateys! Now, according to me map, we've landed on the crystal shores of a bountiful land. A land filled with great deals. Need bed bumps for the scallywags' quarters? We've got it all, and at prices so low, you'll think that you're robbing me. Come visit Captain Clark's Ottoman Empire, and the only thing you'll be wanting is more space to keep it all.
If you didn't know, this is the in-universe furniture store owned by the main character of A24's new film, The Backrooms. And if you noticed, at the top there's a phone number blinking. When they called that phone number, this is what they heard. Sounds scary, but people thought it wasn't anything useful, until people realized the sound being played was not for a phone call, it was for a fax machine. So a player on Twitter that had a fax machine put that phone number in, and this flyer printed out. There are some very interesting details on this flyer. First, the wallpaper bullet point is not in line with the others, which makes sense for the Backrooms. The sentence, "Get lost in an endless sea of..." I mean, it's the Backrooms, it also makes sense. But what's very interesting is there's an actual address on this flyer in California. People went there and it's just an abandoned CVS pharmacy. But I have a feeling this is just the beginning of this marketing campaign. And I'll post when the next part comes out, so follow for more.
Okay, Operation Underground Storage has begun. All the vehicles are moving in. We got the families moving into place. This is the mine where we're going to be held up for months. We're preparing, man. I told you, we had to get ready for what was coming. So we've got our families and stuff. Food storage is good up. We're packed up pretty tight in here, but it's going to be good to go, man. You know what I mean? Better safe than sorry. So we're getting loaded up. Everybody's moving in. We have different families in different sections. Right on. You got to be prepared. We've reinforced this just in case of any blast up above, but we are literally under a mountain here. You got to be ready for what's to come, people, and we are. Right on. Like I said, we're packed in there a little bit tight. We're gonna make this work. About 400 families down here. All right, here we go. Wish us luck. If you can, take cover while there's still time.
Our oceans are full of beings, but they're also full of government facilities, but they're full of extraterrestrial species. They know it all. They're very involved. all these beautiful beings that the government's been involved in at least since the 1940s. Most of them really don't want to interact with us because they are doing their own experiments, their own science, and living a very happy life doing what they do. They're not interested in us. But the oceans are way more deep than we have ever been told or taught. And the same is true for inner Earth.
Hey, check this out.
She's a sucker. She thinks she's a finalist in Ed McMahon's Publishers Clearinghouse. You're just jealous because I'm gonna be a millionaire.
6 Mandela effects mentioned in the 1990s sitcom The Nanny. In this clip here, you clearly hear them say, Ed McMahon, Publishers Clearinghouse, knocking on the door. In this timeline, Ed McMahon did not work for Publishers Clearinghouse. Ed McMahon apparently worked for American Family Publishers. But a lot of people remember him working for Publishers Clearinghouse. Why would these sitcom writers write something that was clearly untrue? That's just the first one.
Food? Aye, big mistake. If you feed them, they will come.
In this clip, you clearly hear the reference from the 1989 movie Field of Dreams. A lot of people, including myself, remember, if you build it, they will come. Like quoted in this clip. But in this timeline, the actual line is, if you build it, he will come, not they.
Miss Fine, you've got some splaining to do.
Lucy, you got some splaining to do. This is from the 1950s American sitcom I Love Lucy. Lucy's husband, Ricky Ricardo, would say, Lucy, you got some splaining to do, like referenced in this clip. In this timeline, didn't say it. Nope, it was never said in the TV show. No, Ricky Ricardo never said, Lucy, you got some splaining to do.
But I'm not rooming with Gert. It's one thing to think you're Madonna. It's a whole nother thing to wear your Depends on the outside.
Another one, Depends, the adult diaper. A lot of people remember Depends with an S, like it said in the clip. But apparently in this timeline, it's always been Depend, no S. Even though we all clearly remember Depends, apparently it's always been Depend, no S in this timeline. Huge. This is a huge Mandela effect. 1983 Risky Business with Tom Cruise. We all distinctly remember this scene. Socks, white button up, sunglasses. Timeline, he didn't wear sunglasses. Nope, Tom Cruise never wore sunglasses in this scene.
I just made a peanut butter sandwich courtesy of my mishpacha, George Washington Carver.
George Washington Carver inventing peanut butter. This is a Mandela effect, but in this timeline, he did not. Apparently that was never stated anywhere. Apparently we all are making this up. George Washington Carver was a scientist in the 1900s and he developed over 300 products using peanuts. Peanut butter is not one of them apparently. I remember being taught that. I know I was taught that. Those are the top 6 Mandela effects mentioned. If any of these affected you, it's us.
What does this mean? If looking funny, no thank you. Lisa, define looking funny.
That's Lisa setting boundaries.
There are now 9 scientists tied to U.S. secrets that are either killed or disappeared. Detecting signs of alien life, found water on another planet, working on deflecting asteroids from Earth, nuclear research. What are they planning? Because this is getting weird. The UFO expert died yesterday, all while they're pushing out this moon propaganda. Interesting.
Yeah, so tell me why I'm at a stoplight
and I'm driving past this bus stop bench, and I see this picture of a reptilian hand touching a human hand. Are they trying to say that we're united with them? They among us or something? Please. I've been seeing all these conspiracy theories lately on the internet, and y'all, like, what the fuck is this? Maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but y'all not about to sit here and tell me that this is not no message right here. Like, this is just a painting. Like, what the fuck is this?
Things have been changing really fast over these last few years. So much that we often find a mirroring effect taking place between the spiritual and physical world. This is just one more example of how that veil is lifting, reality is shifting, and the times we are in now are unlike anything we've ever seen before.
I have made a grave error. When I fell through the time vortex, I did not go back in time. I went forward. This is my city.
The Sleestack are not my ancestors. They are the barbaric descendants of a people who could no longer keep their anger in check, and eventually destroyed my past.
There's a theory that Star Wars is actually a simulation and part of the Matrix. In the Attack of the Clones, Kenobi is approached by a dude in the business of dealing death sticks. That character is played by Matt Duran, who plays Mouse in the Matrix. And then in the same scene, like 15 seconds later, Anakin's walking by everyone, and a woman pops into frame for a few seconds, gives a very seductive look to Anakin. That woman is Fiona Johnson, the woman in the red dress in the Matrix. The theory is that Mouse was just plugged into the Matrix and was just looking for a friend, and the red dress program is just doing her thing, trying to seduce important people that have power.
We have an odd video for you today, and this was actually captured by a man named Mike Parker. He was driving down a rural road when he saw something that he initially thought was a UFO. But here's the thing. He's driven down this road many times, and never has he seen this before. It looks like a gigantic dome. More than likely it's a tarp, but what is it covering? He doesn't know. And also this land, it's not owned by farmers or ranchers. It's actually U.S. agricultural restricted land. So what are they covering up? Take a look at this, comment below, tell me what you think.
So I understand that this design is supposed to be like, you know, a tooth with wings, but it really looks like an angel's bending over with big old butt cheeks. That's what I'm seeing. Pray for me.
And the butt cost them 25 bands.
It's a different thing, right? This is what you think that is. This
The
is
yin and the yang.
yang, right? That got a message. People don't understand it.
Right.
Everything that you love will bring you pain, and all your pain will bring you enlightenment. Is that what that means? But people don't know what that means. They think that means shit it don't mean. But you see why it's on this finger right here?
The middle finger.
Yeah, because that's
Fuck
the
you.
finger. No, it's not a fuck you finger. If everybody does a finger like this, you're gonna feel that energy going upside your body. When you meditate like this, the energy gonna go straight up your body.
The
But
mudras.
they banned this finger.
Right.
They told you this finger was a bad finger. But that's why they told you, because it's a good finger.
Flip you off. That finger.
It's not a flip you off finger, it's an energy finger. It attracts all the energy in your body. But they told you it was the fuck you finger. So don't put that finger up, keep that finger down.
Right.
They made you put it down. Right? Because it's a good finger. I saw my mama.
Do your research.
A lot of everybody.
Tell the people to do their research.
You don't got to do research. Just go like this.
Right.
Just point it out. When you point it out, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it going all the way up your. You're gonna feel it right there, going all up your veins. You're gonna feel it. You can't help but feel it. That's your energy. But they're not gonna tell you this because they don't want you to know this. Yeah, everybody right now watching it just did it. Damn, now I understand.
Yeah.
They gonna feel it going right up there. They can't help but feel it. But that's why I told you that was bad. But is it bad or not? It's bad for them if you do it. Because if you do it, you're not gonna need them. Right?
We are living almost in the Truman Show, to where if you start trying to get out and like, I'm going to get on the boat, like crazy stuff starts happening, you get canceled. Think about the people getting canceled. It's like, it's bizarre.
So for anyone who hasn't seen the Truman Show, it's basically this man his entire life is a TV show and he doesn't know it because he was born in it, I guess. He was brainwashed into it, whatever. And so everything's put together and fake.
Everyone's an actor.
Everyone's an actor in his life.
Yeah. And one of the things that happens is Truman starts to see cracks. He starts to see little cracks. He walks randomly into a building that he never goes into one day, and the elevator door is open. There's no elevator there. It's just a break room for all the actors in the Truman Show. And he like sees through the set, and he sees kind of behind the scenes one day, which is like someone in our life realizing that marketing and advertising and all this kind of stuff is ruining us. It's building a prison that we can't see, just like in the Truman Show. And he starts like questioning reality. And the moment he does that, everyone around him steps in to say, whoa, man, you need to come back to earth. You need to come back here and stay here. You need to stay here. Which is like, what do our friends do when we start going like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do that. I don't want to participate in that. It's very eerily similar. But the reason that the director of the Truman Show in the movie is willing to put him through all this turmoil, fires, explosions, all this stuff to try to keep him in this little world they built for him, which is a TV set. And Truman is willing to die for the truth. He's willing to die for the truth. And if you're in the business of finding truth and your price isn't your life, then you are for sale.
Hold on. Sit down. Look at this. This is weird, right? Egyptian art is beautiful, but why does it look like this? You know what that is? That's your cerebellum. It processes visual information. I know, you're thinking, Mr. Static, that's a very, very good coincidence. It's very observant that you saw that. But look at this. This is the optic chiasm. The front of it is a diagram of how your eyes connect to it. Okay, 2 for 2. Still a coincidence. Let's look at the beetle. The scarab symbolizes protection of the brain. That's why the cranial sutures line up perfectly. The beetle's wings line up perfectly with the 2 hemispheres of the brain. The 2 hemispheres process this information and relay it to the cerebellum in the back. That's what those balls are. If you do an MRI scan, it looks pretty close to a beetle. The legs being those nerves that plug your consciousness into reality. If you like that, I got 40 more of those. Hidden History is finally complete. If you follow that link, you can get access to all of them right now.
What the fuck kind of world have we fucking come to? What is this?
Oh my gosh.
And so the whole idea is that this guy I asked it to sit, but it didn't sit.
Did you guys hear what's happening in Mexico and will be fully in place by June 30th, 2026, which affects 127 million people? Listen to this. And this is what people have been warning about for years, and they were called theorists. Like, there's no way they would do that. It's happening in Mexico, and it's planned to happen everywhere else, by the way. So this is why we need to say no. Mexico is mandating, remember, mandates mean nothing if you say no, that all 127 million mobile phone users register their phone numbers with biometric data, including fingerprints, iris scans, and facial recognition by June 30th, 2026. And if you don't, you will be cut off from cell service. Every single user with a SIM card must register. All phone lines, including prepaid/Amigo lines. Now, they say this is to boost security and unauthorized or unregistered lines that's going to face suspension. But it's aiming to curb extortion. Now, I'm sure, yes, like in theory, sure, if everyone's connected to their ID on their phone, they can't be, that's like safer, like there's less crime that can happen. But is this about stopping the crime, or is it about making a digital database where anything anyone says can be tracked, traced, and monitored back to them as an individual person? And if you're in China and everything's connected and digitally connected to you, and you say something like, I don't really like what the government's doing right now, then what happens? We all know. So is this problem, reaction, solution?
Okay, this just got weirder. This isn't just a mysteriously sprouted potato chip that made it up the conveyor belt, passed inspection, passed quality control, and got fried alongside its potato. No. As it turns out, on closer inspection, these are live, pliable, juicy, fresh roots. This potato chip sprouted in the bag after being fried. It's an Easter miracle.
I hope she planted it. We need a cheap plant.
Walmart is not content with using facial recognition. They have a patent for emotional recognition, because it's not enough to know who you are, it's not enough to know what you're looking at, but I need to know what you think about it as you're looking at it. And I wish I were making this up. They have a patent for emotional recognition to read the looks on people's faces and decide, does somebody look bored? Does somebody look happy? Do they look angry? I'm sure that will never be weaponized against us either. Gracias.
Sugar is a big addiction that demons drive in people who are possessed.
Really?
Where they can't stay away from the sugar. I had one case. This was kind of interesting. I had gotten to the point. This woman that was undergoing exorcism for possession was a very virtuous woman. I'm like, why? Why am I not getting this guy out? Right? And so at a certain point during one of the sessions, I commanded to him.
And she was possessed.
Yeah, she was possessed. I said at a certain point, I said to the demon, I commanded the demon to tell me, what is it you have on her? Right? And he just looked at me and he said, pop.
Meaning soda.
Yeah. So he checked out. I asked her, I said, do you have a problem with soda? And she said, I cannot go a day without rewarding myself with it. She says, I just can't do it. And then once the possessions broke, boom, they don't even have the inclination towards it. So they can drive those kinds of things. Now, again, I'm not suggesting that everybody who has these addictions, because these things are just addicted by nature, and people develop their own. But in possession cases,
sugar addiction. Wow.
Sugar addiction.
I'm not surprised even a little bit. I'm just surprised you said that out loud. That's like, because it's so clearly true.
Yeah. Why do you think it's true?
Let me know what you think about it.
Because I've just seen it and felt it, and I just know that there's some kind of connection because it causes compulsion.
Yes, exactly.
And compulsion's always a sign to me as a total layman, but like compulsion? Really? What's that?
Yeah.
The compulsion to harm yourself? There's no evolutionary theory that can account for that, right?
Right, yeah, exactly.
And that's a wrap on this episode, fool. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me, smash the subscribe button, be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.